Yo, what's up, guys? Jackson McCowan here. Alan asked me to do a devotional here, so I was like, sure. It might be a little bit out of my comfort zone, so hang in with me. Might not be the best, but I'm gonna do my best. So we're gonna hit a story that's actually pretty close to me. It's been my favorite story for as long as I can remember, actually. And it's funny because every single year, it means something different to me, and it gets kind of crazy. So I'm going to pray, and we're going to get right into it. All right, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the day that you've given us. Thank you for allowing me to step out of my comfort zone and share what you've been teaching me to this youth group, I guess, and to this through this video. God, I pray for clarity. I pray for you to be here for us as we are going through a tough time as a nation, as a youth group, since we haven't gotten to meet and greet for a long time. And I pray that you will just bless this quiet time and bless this devotional, that you will just give me the words to say, God, and make it mean something to someone. In your holy name I pray, amen. All right, y'all. So we're going to get started right into it. So, as I was saying, this story has gotten deeper and deeper and has a new meaning for me every single time that I've read it. Well, I'll just tell you what the story is. So we're going to be talking about Jesus walking on the water and inviting Peter out with him. And, I think Peter always gets a bad rep for this story because whenever he gets out there, he starts to drown and stuff. Actually, we're going to hit all of this later. Let's just read the story, all right? Sorry. So, I'm going to lower this a second. Okay. So, let's read it. It's Matthew 14:22. Actually, give you a second to get there. I probably should have told you what it was at the beginning, but we're just chilling. All right, so I hope you catch up. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw them walking on the lake, they were terrified. Okay, so pause right there. So, first thing we have to understand about this story is we have to understand the situation, right? So, it says the lake. He's actually walking on the Sea of Galilee. Probably the size of a lake, but it's called the Sea of Galilee. And so, it's shortly before dawn, right? Shortly before dawn. So, it's probably still a little bit dark out, sun really almost coming up, right? And, I'm feeling like there might be a little fog on the surface of the water. So it's kind of a dark time, right? And the disciples, they're out there in their boat on the Sea of Galilee, and I think they're it was a considerable distance from the land. I thought it was like halfway, but let me just call it considerable distance, all right? So they're out there, and the disciples, they're kind of isolated, right? So it's a dark time, and they're isolated. Kind of like what's going on now, right, with the coronavirus. So they're all alone. So they're probably feeling pretty vulnerable because they're alone out there, ain't got their main man Jesus with them. So and it's kind of stormy. Waves are crashing over, and it's pretty crazy out there. So they're probably feeling pretty vulnerable right now. So let's continue. So when the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. So I can just imagine sitting on this boat, right? And I'm like, hold on. That darkness fog right there, is that like a little silhouette of a man? Dude, I don't know. That might be a ghost, man. It's kind of scary. But it's funny because their first response is fear rather than faith. So they don't have, let me see how I can put this. They cried out in fear, but they didn't have faith in God that, he's bigger than whatever this mysterious silhouette is. I don't know. But I think that's pretty important, especially what we're dealing with right now, is that what is our first response to this virus, the COVID-19, if you want to be all scientific about it. What is our first response? Is it fear or is it faith? So I think that's the first main thing that I wanted to hit there. But yeah, let's keep on going here. So, but Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." Peter responds, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." See, Peter is the only exception to this. He acted out on faith. He knew it was Jesus. All right, you don't randomly ask this ghost that you think it is, to come walk out on the water and then actually do it. All right, he knew it was Jesus. All right, so he didn't wait for clarity. He didn't wait for Jesus to get a little bit closer so I can actually see it's you. He says, "I'm gonna get on the water. I'm gonna get out of the boat. I'm gonna come to you. If it's you," which he knew he was, "I'm gonna come to you." So let's see. Let me check my notes real quick. Yeah. So he got out of the boat. He got out of his comfort zone. He took his faith, all he had. He got out of his comforter, took his faith, went to Jesus, saw Jesus, focused in on Jesus, and he was walking on the water. Okay, getting my head of myself here. Jesus said, "Come." Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. All right, so that's pretty crazy. I mean, I would be freaking out here if I just got out of the boat and started walking on water. That, even in the boat, man, seeing some guy walk on water, that's crazy. But he saw Jesus and focused in on him, and when he was walking on water, a miracle happened. He focused in on Jesus. He put all his faith and trust in Jesus. Looked directly at him, which was a little silhouette. Looked directly at him. "I know you're Jesus. I know you got me." And a miracle happened. All right? So, I'm not saying it, faith, miracles, I don't know, man. And then it says, "But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. Cried out, 'Lord, save me.'" So he immediately calls Jesus whenever he's in a rough situation. And I think this is where where Peter gets his bad rep. Well, from this story, at least, he has a really good rep. But he starts doubting God. He's walking on water, and people would think, you're walking on water, right? And that's so miraculous that how can you not have faith in God to get you, or in Jesus to get you all the way there? How are you distracted when you're walking on water? All right, but then I just want to say, man, I am so impressed with Peter's faith because everyone else is back in the boat, man. He's having this great relationship with God because, he put his faith in Jesus, and Jesus says, "You have little faith. Why did you doubt?" He's got little faith compared to, Jesus, he's got little faith, but everyone with no faith is still back in the boat. So I'd want to be Peter there. So it goes on to say, "And when they climbed in the boat, the wind died down." Now, I really want to know why the wind died down. I know Jesus got in the boat, but I'm wondering, wouldn't it be a lot easier for Jesus to just walk across the lake when it's nice and smooth? I would have wanted to walk across the lake when it's nice and smooth. I'd ask God that question when I got up there, but that's another story. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." And that's actually the first time the disciples actually acknowledge him as the Son of God. Well, give him the full title of the Son of God. That's in my notes right there. Got it. Let's see. Okay, so that's the story. And that's my favorite story, I just love the faith of Peter. It's just crazy to me. But also, a little calling to y'all. Calling to myself as well. Because I don't have that type of faith as Peter, man. I would kill them. That's terrible. I'd do a lot of things to get the faith of Peter, man. That is a lot of faith right there. I know he says you have little faith, but that's a lot of faith to my man Peter. But a calling to us as a youth group and as teenagers, we need to get out of the boat. We need to get out of our comfort zone. Like the boat, you're safe in the boat, You love being surrounded, by the boat, You're not going anywhere. I want to be able to say that I have the faith to get out of that boat. And I think that as a youth group and as teenagers, as a nation, but most importantly as children of God, we need to get out of the boat. People are looking at us, during this COVID-19 outbreak, what are the Christians doing? They're just like anybody else, man. They're scared. They don't know what's gonna happen, man. They're scared. We're gonna get out of the boat, get out of our comfort zone. Get out of our comfort zone. I want to be able to do that. Maybe not get out of the house just yet, but get out of our comfort zone. But I think that's about it that I got. Let me pray. Before we head out. But dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for the opportunity you've given me to share your word. And I hope that it's struck a chord with some of the people that have watched it. And I pray that you will give us wisdom and peace and just an amazing amount of faith like Peter, God, to get out of the boat and get out of our comfort zone and seek you and focus in on you, God. Because when we focus in on you, miracles happen. And that's crazy. I would love to see. I see miracles every day. I just can't grasp it, but I'd love to see you give that to me, God. And I pray that all of us can have the faith like Peter's, but it's something that we work towards, God. And I pray for each and every one in our youth group as we're all having our own struggles, whether it's not being able to see friends or hug friends or go to youth group and just feel your presence there. I pray that you give us your presence in each and every one of our homes, God, that we will have quiet times that just we feel surrounded by you, God. And God, I pray that you will just shape our ways and let us take advantage of this time that you've given us, because this is some time that we can rest, be with family, and more importantly, just study your word, God. And I pray that we take advantage of this time. And in your name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. Man, my hair looks terrible. That's why I put on a hat. I love y'all. I miss y'all. If y'all need me, just text me, call me. I'd love to FaceTime y'all. I kind of missing y'all, man. I've seen y'all's face. You need my number, text Alan. He's got it. Love y'all. Miss y'all. Rock chalk. Let's go.